Are we free? Do you feel that the choices you make are free? Every day, we make decisions with the belief that we are exercising our own deliberation autonomously. What if I told you that all of these choices were predetermined by laws? Would you still feel that these actions are free? Determinism is the argument that everything happening around us is a result of the laws of cause and effect. When something happens, it is as a result of the causal chain of events that happened prior. Therefore, the future is fixed in terms of the past. If this argument is true, then we could not have acted differently, which is a potential threat to our free will. Let's look at the parallels between human actions and a video game to illustrate the determinist argument. In a video game, the characters are being controlled by the gamer. Additionally, the character in the game does not know it is being controlled. If it was conscious, it would probably believe that it had free will. However, the whole game is programmed by game developers who have decided in advance what happens in the game. If the character completes a mission, they are automatically led to the next mission. The whole storyline has already been created, and we can easily find out what will happen next. This is how we are living according to determinism. We are like characters in a video game who are controlled by natural laws of the universe. HardDeterminism says that because we operate in this way, we are never truly exercising our free will. And so, because each decision we make is determined by the last, our inevitable fate already lies ahead. If Mario is not exercising his free will because he automatically travels from level 1 to level 2 and so on, and if our future is determined in a similar way, what would make us any more free than characters in a video game? However, the argument of determinism might still be true without challenging our conception of our own freedom. This is known as compatibilism. Compatibilism is the argument that determinism does not conflict with free will. Soft determinism says that even if the future is determined, we can still distinguish between actions that are free and unfree. And furthermore, we are still free to choose the actions we want. But how? Surely our freedom is completely undermined by an inevitable future. There is the principle of alternate possibilities, which says that if our actions are free, we could have done otherwise. And if I genuinely had a choice to do one thing or another at a given point in time, then my action was free. There is also the principle of moral responsibility, which says that if we are acting freely, we can be praised or blamed for our actions. So, if the argument of compatibilism is true, then A, I am acting freely, B, I could have done otherwise, and C, these two things together make me morally accountable for my actions. Let's take a look at the following example to see how the soft-determinist argument works. If I am out at sea on a boat, I have the free will to row in one direction or another. Hence, I am making a free choice. If I choose to go right and end up sailing towards a tsunami, doesn't this threaten my free will? Because sailing into a tsunami is not something I would have ever chosen freely. According to determinism, causal laws are responsible for why I sailed right, so maybe this does undermine my free will in some way. However, it was still my choice to sail towards the tsunami initially. Nothing made me sail into the tsunami against my will. So, my action is a free one, because there was a moment where I could have gone left. The soft determinist argument is that just because the future is determined by the past, this does not mean our actions in the present moment are unfree. So if determinism is true, are we free? In the boat example, it feels an awful lot like the person is acting freely because of the moment where they had other options. However, in the video game example, it doesn't seem like Mario is acting freely because he is automatically bound from one level to the next. The big difference between these two scenarios is that in the boat, there was a moment where you could have done otherwise, whereas in the video game, your automatic reaction to go from one thing to the next undermines your free will. Therefore, your freedom will depend on your perception of the choices you make. When you go to make a choice, is there truly a moment where you could have done something else, or do your choices feel more like an automatic pull from one decision to the next? The answer to whether or not we are free ultimately lies in the eyes of the beholder.